All right, Cobby Supreme, how you doing?
What's happening? Everything smooth with the dope.
Good, man. Good, man. Just coming out here. You got a nice store going.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice, man. I
Thank
like
you.
what you got going on, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. Where you grew up, what it was like for you, and everything.
I grew up right here in Los Angeles, in between Florence and Vernon. It was cool for me. I didn't really have too much problems in LA. It was fun growing up as a kid here.
Okay. Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got an older sister, older brother.
You were involved in the streets. At what point did you start being involved in the streets?
Well, we had to go outside, had to walk to school, so it was always there.
So always from the beginning, it was like
it
you
was
didn't really
always
have a
there.
choice.
By age 16, I had did everything you could think of.
Okay. So what was going on at 16 that made you want to be involved in the streets?
It was before that, but at 16, I think I wanted money. By the time I turned 16, I started, from being age 12 to 13, 14, 15. At 16, I had accomplished different type of goals, like hustling. I picked up damn near everything.
Okay. And did you feel like a hood success type of feeling?
I didn't feel like that. I was that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, I was that. I was the type of kid that probably hung with cats that was older than me. And by me hanging around them cats, I felt like I was on their level. So I was doing the things that they was doing. Like, first little nigga, probably 13 years old with a car. You know what I'm saying? At 16 and 17, we driving in Benzes and BMWs and shit like that. And wearing jewelry like grown men. You know what I'm saying? Back then, that kind of shit was unheard of for a kid my age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At what point did you start rapping?
I started rapping probably when I was an early age, probably like 9, 10, just playing around. My sister had a boyfriend and shit that used to come to the house and bring his equipment to my mom's house and shit, like guitar, probably a piano and shit. And when him and my sister would be gone from the house, I'd go in there and get to fucking with the shit. So I was always interested in music. I used to break his guitar strings and shit. He'd come back like, what happened to his guitar strings? I was, from the beginning though, you know what I'm saying? We love music.
So real young.
Yeah.
So as you're growing up, South Central Los Angeles, has a rough reputation for you. And you're kind of split, you got the streets and you got the music and everything.
All that shit go together. And when you coming up in the hood or in the streets or coming up as a kid, music is influential. It's always there. When I came out the house, you hear it in cars. You hear it in your house. You know what I'm saying? My mom always played all the music, all the oldies and all that shit, sung and danced and all that. I had a big family, so we did that all the time.
Oh, okay. And at what point did you meet Nipsey Hussle?
I met Nip probably when he was like 14 years old, about 14, 15. So I'm a few years older than Nip. So when I met him, I was probably like 18, 19. He was like 14. And I was probably having a little bit of street money and shit, and driving in cars, having jewelry on and all that shit. And that's what kids like. So he was one of them kids that seen that and just gravitated to me. The first time I seen him was in the gas station, had a conversation with him real short, asked him what he was doing. He was selling CDs. I asked him, was he a gangbanger? He was like, no. But it was a charisma about him, though. Like, he just smirked and shook his head, no. But, I know that neighborhood is, like, real influential. And he was living right over there at the time. So I think I went out of town or something for, like, a few months. And I came back, and I was driving down Slauson, and I seen a pack of guys, probably like 30 young kids and shit. And a couple of my age, and then younger ones like Nip age. And I seen one of them I know. And I called him to the car, like, what's going on? And they was over there, doing what they do over there in the neighborhood. And I asked the guy, I'm like, man, tell that little guy right there to come here. It was Nip. And he came to the car and I was like, you from the hood now? And he did that same smirking and shook his head and was like, yeah. And I was like, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? And then I drove off again. Probably like a year later, you know what I'm saying? I'm hustling, they doing music in the neighborhood. Nip put out a song that was kind of hard at the time. He was probably like 17, 18. He put out a song that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And then we had the whole Slauson Boy thing and everything. Everybody started doing their own thing. Nip, you know, he cracked. And I was always right there with him. He'd be like, even when I'd be lagging, like hustling and shit, like I'm doing what I'm doing, he'll be like, bro, come do this. You know what I'm saying? So I was always doing this shit for a minute. It's been probably like a little over 10.
So he helped influence you to be more involved in music, to take it more serious?
I mean, for us probably like to take it more serious, I probably was like still hustling at the time, you know what I'm saying, while he was jumping into it a little more. But then we had already built like a close relationship and shit to where, you know what I'm saying, he always called like, bro, what you doing? No, I'm in the hood grinding. He'd be like, come over here, come get on this song. And a nigga would pull up, you know what I'm saying?
So it was the music that brought you guys together?
Not music, really, just the hood.
The hood?
The environment that we was in, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm driving down the street, they right there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it was, but like he took a deep liking to me, and also I did for him. And once we got together, it was like, man, this nigga had a bond. You know what I'm saying? Wrong or right, unbreakable. It's my twin. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What was the hustle like at the beginning with the CDs and the struggle and everything?
You know what I'm saying? I caught the ass ends of that because I was doing other shit. Like I said, they was selling CDs, him and his brother and a few, Ren Paul, and a few other homies out there, Kung Fu. They was all selling CDs and hustling, doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that selling on the corner selling CD shit at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And once you start gravitating and start hearing the music in the neighborhood, like, oh, that's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we came to as a whole, and that's what we started doing. And eventually, you know what I'm saying, I started making CDs, putting them out the same way because that's what we was on that. That's what we was on.